Welcome back to the Horror Critic. I am your host, Austin Pettit, and today we are continuing our look at the Friday the 13th franchise. On the previous Friday the 13th episode, we watched 1 through 3, and if you watched that, you know I'm pretty fond of them. They're pretty good. Though, at the very end of 3, I forgot to give my rating, so I will give that for you really quick. To see what I wrote down. Number 3, I gave a... this because I forgot to say it last one, so I want to do it real quick because I feel bad because I did give it a rating and I didn't say it at the end. But I gave Friday the 13th a 3.5 out of 5. Good, solid movie. I like it better than the first, but I don't like it more than 2. That's why I kind of gave it that in-between rating. It's not as high as 4, it's not as high as 2, but it is higher than 1, and it's definitely not higher than 4, which you'll see. Because, like I said, today I'll be talking about 4, 5, and 6. For part 4, I will have my father, Joe Scorpion, joining me for that. So you can look forward to that in this video. But other than that, I will be talking about 5 and 6 on my own, like the others. So I hope you guys enjoy this. And let's get into me and my father's thoughts about Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. Which, it's not the final chapter. It's not even close. But that's what they called it. So here's our thoughts on that one. And my dad here, Joe Scorpion. Say hi, Dad.
How's it going?
He wanted to join me today to talk about Friday the 13th Part 4, which is obviously the 4th movie in the Friday the 13th. I like to show off the box art. Here's the cool box art for it.
The final chapter. I think not.
Yeah, there's like 2 of them that say it's the final one, but it isn't. But we're not to that one yet. But it was released in 1984.
I was 4 years old.
I wasn't even thought of yet, obviously.
Yeah, I was 4.
You were a kid when a lot of these came out, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember watching a lot of these on TV when you were younger?
I do. The first one scared the shit out of me. And that wasn't even Jason.
But you probably thought it was. Because everyone thought it was Jason in the first one.
Either way, it scared the hell out of me. It did its job.
So 4 has some of my favorite characters in it. The cast is really good. Mm-hmm. Especially the main characters, the Jarvis family. We'll do him last. Kimberly Beck plays the sister, Trish. She's pretty good.
Yeah, she was pretty good.
And Joan Freeman played Mom, Mrs. Jarvis, who has the dumbest kill in the movie, sadly. She just looks up the camera and screams, and that's it. You never see her again.
No, you don't.
It's kind of a stupid kill. But then you have Corey Feldman in this one. I think 1 year before the Goonies, but it was also the same year Gremlins came out. I just don't know which one came out first. But he was in both Gremlins and Friday 4 the same year.
I'm not sure. I think maybe Gremlins might have came out first. I don't know.
But he plays Tommy Jarvis. When the first time I saw this, I didn't know Tommy Jarvis was a kid. I thought he was like an older guy.
Oh, all those cool fucking masks and shit.
There's no way a kid can make those. Well, he's literally named after Tom Savini, so.
Yeah.
Who does the special effects in this movie. He came back because he was told it was the last one. So I wonder how he felt about that. Wonder if he knew they were lying. I mean, it was technically supposed to be the last Jason one. But that's not till part 5. Did he? No?
No, he didn't.
No, he did not. He did, other movies. He didn't do Friday anymore. He did Day of the Dead, I think, instead.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a cool zombie movie. But yeah, Corey Feldman, he's really good in this movie. He's really young, too.
He is.
He's been in a lot of horror movies. He's in The Lost Boys, right?
Yep.
I don't know if he's in any of the sequels, but I know he's in the first one.
That's one of my favorite vampire movies. I know we're not talking about vampire movies, but...
Yeah. I'm going to talk about The Lost Boys sometime.
That's a good one, too.
And then we have my second favorite Jason behind Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder just barely beats him out. We have Tim White. Who sadly did pass away a while ago, so he's no longer with us.
Mhm.
But he plays Jason Voorhees in this one. Probably one of the scariest Jasons. This is when Jason gets personality too. Like in 2 and 3, Jason didn't really have much personality, but Tim White changes that.
Yeah.
And Tim White runs, I believe. He doesn't like full on sprint like in the other one, but he like runs and stuff, which I think is cool. Double Mint twins are in this one.
Yeah.
They show their boobs a lot, so I can't really show any clips of them.
No, you can't.
Actually, it's gonna be harder to show a lot of clips because there's a lot of blood and boobs, and YouTube don't like blood and boobs. And that's pretty much all Friday the 13th is.
Most of them, yes.
And you have Eric Anderson, who plays Rob, who has the infamous "he's killing me"
Yeah.
kill, which he said in the interview was supposed to come off as scary, but it came out more funny than scary.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were laughing about that.
And then we have the comic reliefs, Lawrence Monson, who plays Ted, who has his fake computer, and
Teddy Bear.
yeah, who smoked weed on camera that's the first time I ever like got high. It was on camera.
He's like a method actor, wasn't he?
Yeah. Probably not the best time to get stoned for the first time though.
No.
Mm-mm.
Whatever that 1930s silent stuff they were watching.
No, the porn. There's so much boob in this movie. It's ridiculous how many people get naked in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't think of her name, but the girl from Weird Science is in this movie. I can't think of the actress's name, but she's in
I
this
don't know her
movie.
name. Yeah, she is.
I think she dates Wyatt in Weird Science, which I won't talk about because I don't talk about this. I talk about horror movies.
Is she one of the people that kind of
She's the one who gets killed on the raft.
Yeah, kind of Kevin Bacon style.
Yeah, she gets the Kevin Bacon.
She gets Kevin Bacon.
That's the one Tim White threatened to quit because they wouldn't like let her out, and she ended up getting hypothermia and stuff.
Damn.
Joseph Zito directed this one. That's not cool, dude. You can't suffer your actors like that. And it was written by the same people who wrote 2 and 3. A lot of the same people wrote all these. Except 5 and 6, that's when they start getting new writers. But like the first 4, it's like a lot of the same people. Well, a lot of people were told it was going to be the last one, so they like came back. I don't think it was ever going to be the last one. It was just supposed to be the last Jason one. Because Jason obviously dies in this one.
Yeah.
He has one of the coolest deaths in the movie. When Tommy Jarvis slices him with the machete in the side and then in the head. And he says the word Goonies aren't supposed to say.
Yeah.
Goonies never say die. He
definitely said die.
I don't know. Jason should have looked more dead than. He should have more slash marks than that, I think.
You'd think so, yeah.
Because they kick his ass. He hasn't even, like, in the later movies, he always has, like, the slash mark, but he never has, like, the cut in his fingers. I guess in 6, that's when he gets his Frankenstein. He gets, like, his weird Jason powers. I'm not talking about that. Favorite part, and probably my dad's favorite part, is this next actor we're going to talk about, because it's hard not to talk about him. He was in Back to the Future as Marty's dad.
Yep.
The one, the only George McFly.
That's right.
Crispin Glover, who plays Jimmy/Jimbo.
Don't think you got it made, no. You're wrong.
Yeah, it's one of the best improv dance scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
It's one of the best improv dances scenes in any movie. Up there with like Poindexter.
Yeah, Poindexter's the only other one that's even close to that. The Thriller dance in Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. Austin talks about horror movies. Maybe I'll talk about comedy movies.
That'd be cool. But Jimbo has a lot of good lines, and he has a good death.
Yeah.
He's the dead fuck of the group, apparently, according to Ted and his computer.
What? A dead fuck?
That doesn't exist, but
He literally becomes a dead fuck.
he does become a dead fuck. He gets to have sex with the Doublemint twins, though, so I guess.
And he can't find the corkscrew.
I don't know, Jason found it for him. That's one of the most famous deaths in the franchise is the corkscrew. And it's
Gotta
from the
be.
one, the only Crispin Glover.
That's gotta be one of the most famous lines too. Where's the corkscrew, Dad?
Because Ted, how did Ted not, like, hear all that happen? Because I think Ted dies after him.
Yeah, I think he does too.
Because he goes up to the projector and he gets stabbed.
You can
like,
totally
slides
tell
down the
he's
projector.
stoned in that projector.
Yeah, because he really got his
glaring at
eyes
his
are so
eyes.
red. He said he regretted it. It's like, yeah, the first time to get high, it probably isn't a horror on a set of a movie. Probably isn't the best time to do that.
Plus, it's your death scene.
Oh, the Ron, he's related to Sandra. I guess we should bring that up. But he should like be at her funeral, right? Instead
think
of
so.
like at getting himself killed, pretty much. And now they have to have another funeral. Good going, asshole. Now your family life is harder than it already was. They
Yeah.
lost one kid, and now they have to lose another one. Oh, we forgot to mention Gordon, their dog. I guess he's not in the movie much though.
He's really not.
What are you doing? Making out or something like? He says something like that.
Yeah,
Hooking
yeah.
up.
It's probably the best scene that Feldman liked recording, getting to look through the window at that chick taking her clothes off.
He gets to see so much nudity.
And then the mom closes the wrong window.
Yeah,
Blind.
and then he sees them again when they are skinny dipping at the lake, and Kristen's like, "No, we don't got our suits." It's so funny. That dance, I just want to keep talking about dance because he literally made it up on the spot. It's so funny. Only he could do something like that on the spot.
So they're
The original song was AC/DC, but they couldn't like get the rights. I don't remember what AC/DC. I think it was Back in Black. Like there's an outtake of him dancing to the Back in Black clip, and it's hilarious.
that'd be cool.
Why'd you turn that off? It was totally working. That lady was so falling for it.
Yeah, she was.
It only cost them $2.2 million to make. So not a lot of money.
Not really.
They did what they could. Like I said, Tom Savini does a lot of the special effects, and they're some of the best of the series. That's just for the MPAA, like, butchers a lot of the future movies, so.
Yeah.
A lot of the kills are cool and bloody. Tom Savini actually plays Jason in a shot. That poor hitchhiker kills her banana, too.
Yeah, she was just trying to get to Canada.
Yeah, I liked her, the fuck you sign. That's a funny joke.
She got
And they were
killed
kind of
for-
mean to her, though.
She got killed for eating a banana. Damn
She
her.
didn't do anything wrong, Jason. Why'd you have to kill her?
Yeah, right?
This one actually scared me the most when I was younger. 4 did. So I think that's why it's one of my favorites of the franchise, because it's up there for
Yeah.
me anyway. Up there with 6, which I can't wait to talk about that one too.
It's one of my favorite ones, number 4.
And 4 starts what a lot of fans call the Tommy Jarvis trilogy, because he's only in 4, 5, and 6, and then sadly you never see him again.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you see him in like a short film someone made on YouTube, but other than that, you never see Tommy Jarvis again. At least not in the main movies. Maybe they'll do that for the 13th one they're supposedly making now. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We pretty much talked about everything. At least everything I wanted to talk about. Anything you wanted to add about the movie?
I thought it was really good. Like I said, I was 4 years old when it came out, so it scared the hell out of me.
What was your favorite part?
Definitely the dancing with Crispin Glover was
There's actually a lot of
probably
good parts.
great. Yeah, there is a bunch of good parts.
What's your favorite? We'll end with this. What's your favorite kill? Mine's probably Jason. I really like Jason's death.
Yeah,
It'd
he
be
was
a
good.
really cool ending death. It really was the last one for him.
If I had to say number 4, I think number 4 has the actor from the Police Academy movies in it. Is that right?
Yeah, he's in the opening. He's Axel.
Yeah, that's
That
one
pervert.
of my favorites. He gets the way he gets his head
Oh, the
cut off with
hacksaw, and he like
hacksaw.
twisted. That looks so
Yeah,
real. It's so
yeah,
cool
yeah,
and
yeah.
evil.
That's probably one of my favorite kills out of the whole series too.
4 has some of the best kills in the series.
But like Austin said, one of my really favorite ones doesn't come to one of the lame, stupid Jason movies.
5.
Uh, Jason X actually.
Jason X isn't too bad.
It's not.
I'm not to
bad,
that
but
one yet.
yeah,
I'm far away from
They
that
were
one.
pretty far from that one, but that's got probably that's definitely one of my most favorite kills too. In any Jason movie is that one. Jason Goes to Space.
I give it a 5 out of 5. What would you rank it out of 5?
I probably give it 4.5. I like number 6 a lot. I think that's one
Number
of my
6 is my
favorites too.
favorite. Number 6 is an all-time favorite. Can't wait to talk about that one. But that's gonna do it for talking about part 4. And I don't know if my dad will be with me or not, but I'll be back with part 5 and 6 here soon. I'll probably record those either tonight or tomorrow.
Who knows? Maybe he'll be unmasked next time.
Halloween 5 is one of those interesting horror movies that I'm on the fence that I like and that I don't like. It's literally like on that fence. It's so weird because Friday the 13th Part 5, it's hard to, well, New Beginning, here is the box cover. It's just kind of hard to talk about because no, Jason's not the killer. Yes, he really did die in 4. They weren't lying when they said they killed Jason. Jason isn't the one doing the killing in this movie, which makes it weird. But they had a chance to do it right, and they didn't. All they had to do was make Tommy Jarvis the killer, which they did not. Sorry, spoilers, oh my god. But I think if they would have made Tommy Jarvis the killer in 5, it would have been exactly what this series needed to move on from the Jason and maybe try a different route. Though I am happy they went back to Jason, personally, because I'm a huge Jason fan. But, yeah. A new beginning. Once again, we are following Tommy Jarvis because this is I'm going to keep coining it because everyone coins it. This is part of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy, movie 2 of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. And sadly, Corey Feldman only has a small appearance, so there are 2 different Tommy Jarvises in this movie. You once again, of course, have Corey Feldman returning as Tommy Jarvis, but sadly, it is only in the opening of the movie because he was busy doing the Goonies at the time. That's just an interesting fact. That is literally, I think, the only reason he wasn't in our Friday 5 is because he was literally doing the Goonies at the time, so he couldn't do it, which sucks. Yes, because we had our next Tommy Jarvis actor, John Shepard, who sadly isn't. It's not that the actor is bad; he does what he's given, but sadly, is just not Tommy Jarvis. You can name a character Tommy Jarvis, but he doesn't really feel like Tommy Jarvis. Sure, he has the glasses. Sure, they call him Jarvis, Tommy, but he doesn't talk the entire movie. It's just facial expressions. He beats people up a few times.
Relax, Chief. What's wrong? No sense of humor? Can't you take a joke?
Other than that, he's only there just to say Tommy Jarvis is in it, if you ask me. The real main characters are Pam and Reggie. Pam played by Melaine Kenman, and Reggie played by Shiva Ross. I would say they are the 2 main characters of the movie, especially Pam. You see Pam and him way more than you see Tommy. Like, there's literally a point, I don't remember when, I think it's after the demon scene, which we'll get to, but Tommy just, disappears, and you don't see him again until the end when they're fighting your boy, Roy Burns, who is the most obvious killer ever. You're supposed to hide that you're not a killer, dude, and oh my god, you do such a bad job. It's so funny how bad you are at hiding you're a killer. He'd be like, you talking to me, boss? You talking to me, sheriff? And they're like, the killer could be anyone. And then as it just goes to Roy Burns, you guys oh, you talking to me? Am I the person? He gives the suspicious look, closes the ambulance door, and walks off because Roy is an ambulance driver. Though Jason isn't technically, he is technically in this movie, but he's only in the opening, in the dream sequence with Corey Feldman, and then he does some visions like Tommy sees him as visions a few times when he is in the movie. That's one of the main things. When Tommy is in the movie, he sees Jason a lot. He sees visions of Jason, and Jason in this one is played by Tom Morja. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Sorry, I probably totally messed up his name. But the interesting about him is he actually, that's why I wore my Halloween 2 shirt. He actually plays Michael Myers in Halloween 2. So yeah. And to make things even more interesting, he also played Leatherface. So he's in Texas 2 or 3. I don't remember which one, but he is the only actor to play Michael, Jason, and Leatherface, which is a really cool. So a round of applause for him. That's just really cool that you had the chance to play 3 huge horror legends. So sadly, Jason's not in this movie long, which makes sense because it's called A New Beginning. They just used the Jason moniker and stuff. Aurora uses Jason as his MO. What apparently wearing a hockey mask gives you all of Jason's powers, all of this everything. You just turn into Jason when you put on that hockey mask, which is interesting because I believe there was a book series. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put it right in front of Chucky's face. Sorry, I'll block off my little area. But I do believe there was a it was like a very short run book series that when you put on Jason's mask, you like became possessed. And they also kind of do that again in Jason Goes to Hell when he like transfers his souls to bodies. But when we get to that crazy shit, we'll actually get to that crazy shit next time. Because there will not be an in-between episode like there was with Killer Clowns. You will not get another one until Friday, Saturday. But in that one, you will get to see Jason Goes to Hell. And I have some interesting thoughts about that one. It was written by Martin Toyser, who I think wrote the previous one. Not my Killer Clowns. Yeah, he only wrote the previous one, I believe. I don't think he wrote any of the other ones. Nope, he just wrote those ones. Because after 4, a lot of the original people left because they were told it's the final chapter, and it clearly wasn't the final chapter. It wasn't even close to the final chapter. It was just supposed to be Jason's final chapter, and then he even pushed out that at the last minute with Jason Lives. But I will not diss on Jason Lives. As you'll see in the next segment of this video, I fucking love Jason Lives. I love it so much. Sadly, I can't say that about 5. I don't hate 5 either. I just don't love it, sadly. Just sadly. Not that the writers, Martin, David, and Danny didn't do their about Danny Steinman, David Cohen, and Martin Crosser. Cohen brother, the guy who did Garfield? I don't know. His last name is just Cohen. But the special effects were done by David Miller. I'll give this movie this, though it's not the best movie by far. It's definitely lower ranked in my series. It has some of the best kills of the franchise, which does kind of suck in a way because it's not Jason doing those kills, but the kills that are on screen, a lot of them are really, really good. You have the one with the trimmers on the lady, who shows her boobs for way too long because director Danny Steinman, who also did writing critics, you can obviously tell he was a softcore porn director before he did Friday, and oh my god, you can tell because there's this one shot put on this girl, her and her boyfriend get caught where they're not supposed to be, and that's when you meet Ethel. But oh my god, we'll get to Ethel in a minute because Ethel was hilarious, and so was her son. I can't think of her name, but Ethel was one of my favorite characters in this movie. One of the main reasons that I'm on the fence is because of the side characters. They are so entertaining. You have so many good characters in this movie. Just all the characters are memorable and great. At least the side characters. A lot of the main characters aren't like a lot of the people who get killed. I should be writing down all their names, but besides the one I want you to know, I couldn't tell you half the people who got killed in this movie. At least not by name. I just know how they die. The girl gets the trimmers. The guy gets the infamous belt kill where you clearly see him twisting it both ways, but it still snaps and works. You get the perv, who kind of looks like Clint Eastwood, but not really. Sadly gets the stomach stab off screen. You get the dick paramedic. Here's an interesting fact about this movie. Roy Burns' entire motive for this movie is to kill the person who killed his son, named Victor, I think. He literally... goes to you, Joey. Poor Joey.
How you doing?
I just want to talk about Joey for me. He's one of those side characters. Like, yeah, you're one of the reasons I kind of am on the fence of this movie. More on the liking end. More I talk about, and more on the like end than the dislike. which makes me in the minority because a lot of people seem to hate on this movie, which is sad because it's really not as bad as everyone says it is. But Roy, obviously the killer, we've been through it. His motive is just weird. He wants to kill the guy who killed. He wants revenge on the guy who killed his son. But what does he never actually do? Kill Victor, the guy who killed his son. So, how are you getting revenge on the person who killed your son when you kill everyone except the person who killed your son? I mean, I know he's in jail, but you're a paramedic. You can get in there. Come on, Roy. So I never really liked that. That's one of the things I never really got either. It's like, so he wants to kill the person who killed his son, but he doesn't kill him. Okay, weird. Before I talk more about the side characters, I should talk about the backstory because I should have talked about the side characters second. Especially the remaining ones I'll talk about second because, oh my god, they're some of my favorite characters. It was released on March 22nd, 1985. So we're continuing our. This is when we literally got a Friday each year of the 80s. Pretty much every year of the 80s, you got a Friday the 13th movie. You might have got one every year of the 80s, actually. I'm not really sure, though. But I'm pretty sure almost every year of the 80s, there was a Friday the 13th movie that came out. And that's crazy. It was, once again, made on a $2.2 million budget. That just seems like the normal for these movies, like $1 million, $2 million. It seems like the normal. But that's all they need, because every time they make a profit. Like, for this one, it made $21 million at the box office, which isn't bad, but it wasn't as good as any of the previous ones. So I'm pretty sure the box office is the decline in box office and ratings and people complaining. Even back then, people were complaining, that's not Jason. Why isn't Jason the killer? Because I think after this, after 4, they're trying to go for a more anthology route, and when you establish a killer for 3 whole movies, it's kind of hard to go down the anthology route after that. Hell, 4 movies, because Jason shows up at the end of 1. But, yeah. It's grown a huge cult following over years, like a lot of these films have, but I think this one has grown the biggest cult following out of them all. And I think a lot of that has to do with the characters, just the side characters themselves. They're entertaining, they're fun to watch, and you feel bad for a lot of them when they get killed. Now we can get to the side characters I want to talk about. I'll talk about the other one last because he's my favorite and he's the best. Ooh, baby, I'm doing nothing, so I'll talk about him now. We got Demon, whatever you want to call him, played by Miguel A. Nunez Jr. from Scooby-Doo. That's right, he's in the Scooby-Doo movie. Where Daphne goes, like, to talk to a guy. He's like, you want a clue? You're wearing purple, and it's a fall color. It's the middle of May. I'm about to sacrifice this chicken. That's the same guy. He's also in the spin-off for Friends of Joey, which I will not praise too much because I didn't really like that show. Not that it was a bad show, but he didn't even show up until the final season. That show literally only got 2 seasons. Just shows you Friends just can't work without all the people who made it, the Friends. Not that Joey was a bad show, I just didn't like it that much. But we're not here to talk about Joey, we're here to talk about Miguel A. Nunez Jr., Demon, who is, of course, Reggie's brother, who I haven't talked about much. Reggie, though, has the most bitchin' scream. He gives Jesse from A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 a run for his money, which when we get to that, I will be defending Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Like it, don't like it, I don't care. I personally like that movie. Why always bring up movies we're nowhere even close to talking about? Then we had, Demon and his girlfriend. They sadly get killed. His girlfriend gets killed off screen, I think. I don't remember seeing her death. But then you get the infamous, ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
That scene is so funny. What is with Friday the 13th and pooping scenes on the toilet? There's surprisingly a lot of them. There was 2 and 3, and then did 4 have one? I don't think 4 had a pooping scene, but then you get one back in 5. They love pooping on them toilets in Friday, apparently. Sadly, Demon does get killed. He gets spiked through the thingy. Like, he gets spiked on the outside of the house by Roy. Once again, I don't know how Roy does half the shit Jason does. Apparently that mask just gives you fucking superpowers and you just gotta go with it. But now let's get down to the best character of the entire movie before I get to the rest of my pros and cons. Ethel, played by the wonderful, the amazing, the very talented Carol Locatell. A lot of her scenes, well, a lot of people's scenes, because the director only cared about the boob scenes and the kill scenes. That kind of can tell you what kind of set this is, that he only cared about the sex and the death. That's not what makes a good Friday movie. I mean, it's part of what makes a good Friday movie, but you gotta have those characters like Four had. Four just has good characters all around the entire movie. That's what lacks in this one. It has good characters, but not every character is good. And sadly, one of those characters who isn't done well in this movie is Tommy Jarvis, which we'll get more to when I talk about the ending of the movie, because I don't really get what they're going for in this movie. It's like they want to pass the torch on to Tommy, but then they chicken out with Jason Lives in part 6. So it's like, make up your mind, man. You can't, like, tease something pretty much for 2 movies and then be like, nah, we're not going to do it now because people didn't like it. It's like, if you want to go through with the idea, go do with the idea. But Ethel is amazing. Ethel is hilarious. Ethel has some of the best quotes in any Friday movies ever. Like when the police officer comes near me and she's like, don't you dare come near me. If you touch me, I swear I got a bomb. Or, you big fucking dildo, shut up and eat your slop.
You big dildo. Eat your fucking slop.
And sadly, she kills her produce, not the poor tomato. But which is weird about her death is she clearly hears footsteps coming from behind. She looks behind her because she hears someone coming behind. But then she gets axed from the front. Roy has superpowers. Roy can teleport. That's the only reason I can think about that, is that Roy teleported. But yeah, Ethel, great character. Her son, a little annoying. I don't remember the son's name, but who cares about the son? We're talking about Ethel. This is my biggest gripe with the movie. And it shouldn't be my biggest gripe with the movie, but when they're like going through, this is the last thing I'll talk about. But when they were going through Roy's motive and stuff, how he's using Jason's MO, they're showing Pam all these pictures. Also, Pam has a magical sweater. It just disappears, comes back, and disappears. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, back to the point. She's talking to the police, who suck. They say Jason is cremated, but he's not. I'll talk more about that in 6. But yeah, they tell him about Roy's backstory, how he wanted to use Jason as his MO because he was a well-known legend. And this fucker pulls out news reports. The first couple I get, they're just headlines saying mass murder, blah, blah, blah. But then this fucking last picture they pull out is impossible. It is literally a picture of Jason. Who the fuck got that picture? And how the fuck did you live after taking said picture? Because there is no fucking way you'd be taking a picture like that of Jason Voorhees and walking out not dead. That's my biggest complaint. I did this movie. I didn't write down the ranking. I give it a 3 out of 5. Sadly, side characters can only save a movie so much, and they just don't do it for me. This movie just doesn't do it for me, and a lot of it has to do with their use of Tommy. They would have made Tommy the killer and used Tommy Jarvis. Even if Tommy Jarvis even talked and did more, that's my biggest gripe. They did not do Tommy Jarvis well in this movie, unlike they did in part 6, which I'm so excited to talk about because 6 is my favorite. Let's go, Hollow Friday 6. Let's fucking go! Yes! Friday the 13th, part 6. Jason Lives is right now ranked number 1 on my list. There are 12 movies, and I ranked this puppy number 1. Yes! Written and directed by Tom McLaughlin, who might have been the first person, you can correct me if I'm wrong, to do, like, meta horror. There was also unwritten credits by Sean S. Cunningham and Victor Miller, who do the original, and the special effects are done by Brian Wade. I will start talking about that when I show off the box cover. That way I'm not trying to scramble back and forth. And I will start for the next episode, which is going to be Scary Movie. But I say, why not just do it now so you guys know, so you're not like weirded out, like, what is this guy doing? But yes, I'm just going to get into it because I'm going to try not to talk for 50 years. That's what I said about 5, and I talked for like 15 minutes. And this one is literally one of my favorites, so I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up talking longer than I did for fucking 5. So let's just get into it. Like I said, written and directed by Tom McLaughlin. Yes, good job, bro. In my opinion, I know everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but in my opinion, you have made the best Jason movie, my favorite one. Without further ado, I guess we should get into what makes a Tommy Jarvis trilogy movie Tommy Jarvis, where we have the best Tommy Jarvis. I mean, Corey Feldman does a good job, but this guy is really good too. He actually returns in Never Hike Alone, those little mini movies, or whatever you want to call them. But I want to do those too, but I'm gonna actually wait till Friday the 13th to do those. I don't think there's a Friday the 13th till like September. I think that's the next one, so you'll have to wait a while, but you'll get that too. But Tommy Jarvis is played by Tom Matthews in this version. Probably my favorite Tommy, no offense to Corey Feldman, but this guy just gets the most attention. He just does it best. He does it so good that when the original video game came out, may it rest in peace, like I said in the original episode, I really wish that game was still around, because I'd play it for you on stream. But maybe I'll do a Killer Clown stream to make up for it, because it was made by the same people, and I'll definitely be playing that Halloween game. I'm going to try it and maybe do Halloween in September to align with the game releasing, but we'll see. I'm not trying to talk about that. Let's talk about what I'm talking about. Tom Matthews, Tommy Jarvis, the best Tommy Jarvis we got. We're not just being silent, being gone half the movie. This time, you're talking, you're funny, you're cracking jokes. You're funny and cracking jokes are the same team, same thing. Your best friend is Wolford Horseshack from Welcome Back, Mr. Katia. The guy that goes,
Well, you probably would have said something like, hey, Vinny, you know why you don't got no freckles? 'Cause they probably slide off.
in this movie. He gets killed so soon. He's like, I don't think I can take it. My heart's gonna pop out of my chest. And Jason's like, oh, really? And goes, boom. But yes, Jason making his fabulous return, because as we all know, he wasn't in 5, which is the biggest turnoff for everyone. So Tom McLaughlin is like, fuck it, let's just bring Jason back, who this time is played by C.J. Graham. He's also another one of my Jasons. He'd be in my top 5 Jasons. Maybe I'll rank my Jasons in a separate video later on down the road. But yeah, CJ Graham is one of my favorite Jasons. He can be creepy. He's the one, the first one that does like that. He like does that fucking just turn. He just turns. He doesn't move any part of his body. Just his way. Just turns. It's a very creepy shot. Like he's hacking up the one guy, and the one. Or is that 6? I don't know. I think I'm getting my movies mixed up. It might be this one or the next one. But like he's hacking on someone, and he hears them, and he just goes, oh. It's fucking creepy. This one doesn't have the infamous. I always get 6 and 7 mixed up because I'm actually a big fan of 7 too. But we're not here to talk about 7. We'll get to that when I get to it. And then we have Jennifer Cook, who plays Megan, who is the love interest. Yeah, I'll say love interest for Tommy because I'm pretty sure they end up together after this. I guess you never know. Never really mentioned the Never Hike Alone, but I'm gonna say they ended up together. Yeah, that's a good assumption. But she's good in this movie. She's great. She has some pretty funny moments too, like the chase scene when she's like, "No one drives my car but me," and then she literally just shoves his head down into her crotch, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is the time of my life," or some shit like that. It's so funny. Sadly though, other than she doesn't really like. She's not really a foil against Jason in any way or form, sadly. But she is a good pairing with Tommy, if you ask me. I think they work really good off each other. I think they actually make a really good couple. I honestly believe their chemistry and stuff together. And then you have Megan's father, Sheriff Garris, played by David Kagan, who is great. He honestly isn't... He does nothing wrong in this movie. I'd lock Tommy up, too. He just thinks he's crazy. He honestly says, I feel bad for you, what happened, blah, blah, blah. He's actually remorseful at first, but then when Tommy starts acting like a nut job because he doesn't know Jason's alive, he just locks his ass up, and I'm like, yeah, that seems like a reasonable reaction. This guy's going around, Jason's alive, and he's fucking causing problems, and now there's dead bodies around. Who are you gonna blame? The guy that you think is dead, or Tommy Jarvis, who's right here in front of you going, it's Jason. You're gonna believe it's Tommy Jarvis, so nothing wrong with Sheriff Garris. Then we have his deputy Cologne, played by Vincent Gustafrio. You know, where the red dot goes, you bang.
Wherever the red dot goes, you bang.
Doesn't really do much in this movie, but when he says some lines like that, it's just fucking hilarious. Or when Megan betrays him, they're like trying to escape later on in the movie so they can get out and help Sheriff Garris fight Jason. Because he goes to the fucking camp by himself. It's like, oh yeah, that's gonna. He's gonna go by himself. He takes officers, but then they all split up. It's like, why do you all split up in these situations? Jason's just gonna pick all of you off one by one, which he does. But Deputy Cologne doesn't really do much. I just saw him for literally 2 line deliveries in the entire movie. I already said the first one. Wherever your red dot goes, you bang. And then Megan. He sounds so betrayed when she points the gun at him. He's just like, Megan, no, why? Why would you do this to me, Megan? Talking about the friend from Tommy's friend, Alan, played by Ron Polio, was from Welcome Back, Kotter. That's about like really the only big cameo I can think of in this movie. But then even though it's short, his role is very... I'm going to take this off. I always take off. No, his role is very short. It's very memorable. May he rest in peace, because he did pass away, I think, a few years ago, which is very sad. So, rest in peace to the Sweat Hog. I haven't really watched much. I've seen some episodes of Welcome Back, Kotter with my dad, but I haven't, like, gone through and religiously watched it all the way through. But as John Travolta in it, it's a pretty decent show. But then you have the cemetery clerk, who, if he never would have covered up that grave, they probably would have believed him, because he's pretty much just there for some funny gags, like, do you think I'm a farthead? And it cuts to the kids going, yeah! Because, oh my god, there's a Friday the 13th movie where they're at a summer camp, and there's actually kids there. That adds to the suspense, because the kids could be in danger. Maybe, maybe not. I won't tell you. Watch the movie to find out. But yeah, and the kids that are on camera, they're either very cute, like the girl Nancy, who sees Jason and she starts praying. I think that's very cute, and it works apparently. She starts praying. Jason's like, you know what? I'm not much of a religious man myself, so nah, I'll let you live. But Jason has never really been a kid killer. I've never seen Jason kill a kid, unlike Art the Clown. The closest I guess he ever came to killing a kid was Tommy Jarvis. He did try to kill Tommy Jarvis, but other than that, he hasn't really tried to kill any kids. But then there are the 2 boys who have the best line delivery in the movie. Like, Megan comes in and finds him. She has him in the bed, and she goes to look for her dad, who I think at this point, well, he's not dead yet, but the dad's just a badass. I'm not mentioned that many times. This is... Sorry, I stopped. It's just hard to talk about this movie because there's so much to talk about, and I just know I'm going to miss something, and it very pisses me off that I'm going to miss something. But I'll finish talking about the other 2 kids first. They're 2 boys. I don't think they say their names, but they're just hilarious. They're little assholes. What do you think? I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat. And the other one's like, so, what were you going to be when you grew up? Fucking hilarious line delivery.
What do you think? I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
So, what were you gonna be when you grew up?
I'd like to talk about CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees here for a minute, because this is the first Jason movie where Jason gets his powers and he could teleport. Don't at me, Matt Pat. There is a film theory that says Jason doesn't teleport. It's like bullshit. Once Jason gets his powers by being brought back to life by lightning, which is so fucking classical horror, which I love. Tom McLaughlin was going for that. He's like, it's just supposed to be like classic horror. Frankenstein's monster. Jason's pretty much a Tom Savini's own Frankenstein monster. Because, you know, they in the first one, they could have made him just like a normal kid, but no, they're like, let's just make him deformed. They had to give him a reason for him to drown and get picked on and shit. But yes, we finally have immortal, I don't say he's like immortal Jason, but we have the coolest Jason. I call him Zombie Jason. I don't know if that's like the best term, but that's what I call him. But to those who say Jason doesn't teleport, you're full of shit. There's literally later movies like Jason Takes Me in Manhattan, which I fucking hate, and I'm so upset. You're gonna hear me rage so much when I talk about the movie because it's so fucking stupid. But that's not until next episode. At least we get one more good movie before I start talking about literally shit. But the guy, they're on a ship. He's on the ground. He starts climbing. Jason's on the ground. There's no way Jason's climbing up over him to get up above him to throw him fucking off the thing. You idiots. Okay, there's enough of that. Jason teleports. Don't at me. CJ Graham, you do a really good job as Jason. He's pretty much immortal now, as you can see. I love the scene when Deputy Cologne is trying to protect his daughter. He just goes ham on Jason. First, he just shoots him. Jason gets shot so many times in this movie. This is when bullets just don't affect Jason. He literally takes like 3 shotgun blasts to the chest. No effect. Takes a headshot. No effect. Ugh. Jason is just a badass. The poor dad gets the best kill in the movie when he gets fucking folded in half. All the kills in this movie are good. Sadly, this is when the MPAA was like, we're going to start butchering your movies and destroying your kills. Because there are really good kills in this movie that are sadly just destroyed by the MPAA. And the one I'm specifically talking about is the triple decapitation when the work party is playing paintball or capture the flag of the woods with paintballs, and the group is like walking back and they hear Jason. He fucking drops down from above and fucking decapitates him on it. Quickly cuts away. Originally, when they decapitated him, you were supposed to see the heads fall on the floor, but the MPA said that was too grotesque or whatever, and they had to cut it out so they wouldn't get an X rating. And then there's just some off-screen kills I don't like, sadly. One of the ladies gets pulled through a window, and that's it. I mean, when the officers and Sheriff Garris get there, you go, there was just full of blood. It's like, I wonder how that happened. I like Jason's design in this one. For some reason, he has a work belt in this one, which he won't have in the next one. Every Jason design is never the same, but I like this Jason design. It does have the slash. I'm going to add a slash to this hockey mask. I don't care if I have to fucking pencil it in myself with marker. I'm going to put a slash in it. But, yeah, he has his signature slash. I like his get up. He's like it over. He pretty much looks like a warehouse work, like a mechanic. He's pretty much a mechanic cloak because he wears the gloves. He's more of a... This is when I never see Jason running after this, but I guess you don't have to run when you could teleport. This is when he's more of a fast walker, a speed walker, I'll call it. But boy, can that fucker walk fast. So let's go through the backstory before I go through the rest of my pros and cons, because I haven't really gone through my pros and cons yet. But it was released on August 1st, 1986. It was made on a budget of $3 million and earning $16.47 million at the box office, which was a huge decline from the last one. And I think we're just saying this is a huge decline from 5, which is $21.9 million, which is very upsetting because 6 is... You can get mad, but 6 is vastly better than 5 in my opinion. 6 is so much fucking better. I just love 6 so much, and it's so sad that it didn't do good at the box office. But at that time, Freddy was ruling the world. Our boy right here, Frederick Krueger, which I'll get to in October. You know, that guy was ruling the world and doing his thing. People are sad to say it. I think people were just sick of Jason at this point. I think they're not per se sick of Jason, but I think after the disappointment in 5, they probably weren't expecting... I mean, it's called Jason Lives. I think people were just sick of it. It's pretty much the same thing as the first 5, except this one does it the best. That's why it's my favorite. It's sad that they did it. Because like I said, it's my favorite. And it's literally pre-Scream. If it wasn't for this movie, I don't think you would get meta movies like Scream. Pretty much every horror movie tries to be meta these days. It's kind of annoying. But this was the first one to pretty much do it, and he does it good. There's really good shots in this movie. Well, now I'll go to my pros and cons. Like I said before, there's actual kids at the camp. Holy shit, I like that there's kids at the camp for real. About time you have fucking kids at your camp. The first movie where Jason gets a supernatural powers, like I said before. Oh, the other death from the other work employee who's a sexless pig, and I'm happy he dies. Dumb brawl, sure stay in the kitchen where he belongs. This is how Jason gets his machete. Oh my god, it's so great. This guy's just hacking away through some weeds to find his way back. And here comes Jason Voorhees, teleports behind him. Don't at me, he teleports. Grabs this fucker's machete and throws him in a tree. And that smiley face is not there before. I watched that shit frame by frame, and I did not see no fire smiley face before he hits that tree. That fucker hits it's a little too funny for my taste, but it sums up the campiness of the movie. When the guy's face hits the tree, it leaves a bloody smiley face. That's so funny. It's so corny that you almost have to love it in a way. Because, hey, it's corny and it knows it, and it goes all in it with it sometimes. And that's why I love this movie. I'm going to bring this up like in 5. They totally ignore the plot point. In 5, there's clearly a scene where they say, cremate, the mayor's like, Jason was cremated. He's nothing but a bunch of ash. And he's like, did you see it happen? Cremated my ass. Because he wasn't cremated. He clearly walked around. It was a cover-up. A cover, I say. I think I said this. I'll delete it if I did. This is the only Friday the 13th movie with no nudity. That is a very interesting fact because every other movie in the Friday the 13th franchise, except this one, has at least one scene where someone shows their boobs. So good job. You were alright. They thought if there was less nudity, they'd get away with more blood and guts, and sadly that didn't happen. I wish that would have been the truth. Sadly, this was Tommy Jarvis's last movie in the official timeline until the Never Hike Alone's. You just never see Jason again after this. Apparently, he didn't get the memo. It would have been cool if he would have showed up. Who knows? Maybe if they ever make 13, which I think they're working on now, it'd be the perfect time. You know how they like to do that thing where they ignore previous movies in the past, maybe ignore after 7. After New Blood, I say, start ignoring. And then maybe have Tommy and some of those people come back. Have one big final hurrah with Jason Voorhees. And just let him finally kill him definitively once and for all. A TV show with Mrs. Voorhees ain't gonna cut it, but I'm excited for it. And a new video game ain't gonna cut it, which I'm also excited for that too. I want to see my boy Tommy Jarvis back, because that is Jason's best foil. Second best foil. My favorite person he fights is in the next movie, but that's for entirely different reasons. Tommy is a good head-to-head, face-to-face, hand-to-hand combat. Well, hand-to-hand isn't really the best way to put it. But yeah, they have the fight on the lake, and then you never see poor Tommy again. He just assumes that he's dead. That fight on the lake is awesome. Apparently, all you need to do to get Jason's attention is call him a pussy, and just call him names like he's a child.
Hey! Asshole! It's me you won't remember! Come on! Come on, chicken shit! Come on, I'm standing here waiting! Come on, you pussy!
Also, Afraid to Water My Ass, Freddy vs. Jason. Alright, but here is my favorite thing about the entire movie. I saved this for last. I have been talking for almost 20 minutes. I knew this was going to be a long one. I am going to talk about the awesome Alice Cooper song that is in this movie, because it fits the movie perfectly. The music video is awesome. The song is awesome. If you already know it, it's probably stuck in your head. If you don't know it, I'm going to prematurely sing it for you, because if I show a clip, copyright. I mean, I'm going to get copyrighted no matter what, so maybe I will just show a clip, but if it will, maybe it's like an instrumental version, but he's back. He's the man behind the mask, and he's out of control. He's back. Yeah, that song by Alice Cooper was written specifically for this movie. I'd love to see Alice Cooper live because he does this song live. And the guy, it's not CJ Graham, but the guy comes out dressed as Part 6 Jason, and I think that's really cool. Since I am talking for 20 minutes, I think that is, I'd say that's a good point to end it. It's not like, hey, you're talking for 20 minutes. This is not one movie, though. This is a segment of a multi. It's like, talk for however long you want, but I am not trying to make these videos 15 minutes. minutes long. But the first one was 59 minutes. This one, from the looks of it, will probably be over an hour. So with that being said, I also have to watch not Killer Clowns. I have to watch Scary Movie to prepare for that, and then I have to watch Fridays 7 through 8 to do the next episode of that. So I have a lot of work to do today as the horror critic, and I'm excited for it. But yes, I give this movie a 5 out of 5. I'm just going to say it, 5 out of 5, perfect movie, and probably not a perfect movie, but I just give it a 5 out of 5 because it's my favorite. My favorite. I've said it a million times. I'm going to say it again, probably in the future, through the rest of these, and at the end when I rank them, it's my favorite. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode of The Horror Critic. I know it was a little bit long, but I hope you guys stick through and enjoy. Leave down in the comments out of these three which one is your favorite, or just which one is your favorite in general. And I can't wait to talk about more Friday the 13th. It's been so much fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out and stay scared.